What is up, guys, and welcome to another video. Man, it's been a while since I've done one of these fun, raw, unedited trading videos. It's felt like since the boot camp, really. So time to start bringing these back. Took a little break from it because I really did think I kind of just went ham with the boot camp 2.0, trade recaps, all that stuff. Started making a little bit more like business-based content for a little bit, and you know, like now we're back onto trading and actual chart work stuff that I do think will be really beneficial to you guys in the near future. So that being said, let's jump right into this. As you guys can tell by the title, this is going to be how you can create your own day trading strategy so that it works for you, works for your work hours, works for whenever you need to trade, works for whatever type of trader you are, whether you're a scalper, whether you're a swing trader, whether you're I don't even know. Just how to create a strategy that works for you, because all in all, the main reason why I'm making this series, and who knows how long this will go, maybe it's like 2 parts or 3 parts, I don't know, until I can get all the information out to you guys. This is really just going to be a brain dump and kind of teaching you guys and showing you guys how you can create your own strategy, because in reality, a lot of you guys use my strategy, right? A lot of you guys use ICT strategy. But are you guys profitable? Are you guys making the same percentage gains that I'm making? Are you guys making the same percentage gains that ICT is making? No, you aren't. And you're probably wondering, well, how is this happening? If we have the same strategy, shouldn't we be making the same amount? Shouldn't we be taking the same trades? You would think it would be like that, but it's not. Okay, because everyone sees the market differently. Everyone has a different perception of what they see through the market, and that's the beautiful thing about trading. No one can take away my eye for the market the way that I see it. No one can take away ICT's eye for the market the way that he sees it. And no one can take away your eye for the market the way that you see the market. So what do you have to do because of that? You have to create a strategy based on certain confluences that you've learned from people like me, like fucking Raul, like ICT, like anybody else that you follow or watch on YouTube. You use those tools and those confluences that we give to you guys so you can create your own strategy, okay? Because if you use a strategy that works for TJR, maybe some things don't click in your head that click for me and that work really well for me. So how is it going to work really well for you if you can't even fully understand the strategy that I'm using that works really well for me? It won't work for you. Okay, so this is where this little series is going to come into play on how you guys can create your own day trading strategy to help progress yourself and hopefully turn you guys to profitability. This really was one of the biggest things that helped me turn profitable, was taking confluences and taking building blocks and things from other YouTubers and other traders, and then just sitting my ass down in front of the chart and really putting time in and saying, hey, this works here, this works there, I'm going to go on this time frame, testing shit out on your own without having someone be like, wait for this, and then if you see this, you can enter. Like, we're done with that, okay? Like, you guys probably know everything that you need to know by now about trading, okay? So like with that, you guys know order blocks, you guys know liquidity sweeps, you guys know breakup structure, you guys know fair value gaps, you guys watch my trade recaps every single day, you guys know what to look for, but does it work for you? That's really the main goal of this entire series, is going to be creating a strategy that works for you and helping you guys start forming that strategy. So without further ado, let's hop onto the charts and let's get started with how you can create your own day trading strategy, part 1. All right, so the first part of this series is low-key not even going to get into charts. It's kind of just going to be putting together like an outline or a breakdown of what you guys should be looking for overall when creating your own strategy. So actually, I know I said we would get into the charts. However, we're using this just for text boxes. So the first thing that you want to do, remember, we're only talking about strategy here. Trading plan, like, this is going to be a part of your trading plan, and you should follow it completely 100% of the time. However, this isn't going to make up your entire trading plan, if that makes sense. This is just the strategy portion of your trading plan. Your trading plan consists of a bunch of other things like, like session that you trade, even though that might be included with your strategy, how many trades you're going to take, how much risk you're putting on. Okay, that has nothing to do with strategy. Strategy, we are purely focused on, okay, when and where are we entering and what are our confluences? Okay, so first things first is when. Okay, so when are we going to be trading? And what session? Okay, so for me, my biggest thing is always like, So for me, I always trade during New York Stock Exchange Open. For me, that's what works. Back when I traded just GBP JPY, I was a London session only trader. For me, it works just to stick to one specific session, okay? Nowadays, I really only trade the S&P and NASDAQ, and those obviously are US indexes, so they're going to move most during US session, during New York session. So there's no reason for me to try and be trading Asian session or London session over New York session if those are the two pairs that I trade. Something that you guys need to understand for yourself is figuring out, okay, what pairs do I trade? And then when do these pairs move the most? Okay, so if you trade GBP JPY, you're looking at probably going to be a London session trader. If you trade GBP USD, you could probably trade London session or New York session. If you trade USD JPY, you could probably trade New York session and maybe even Asian session. Okay, I'm not the biggest fan of Asian session, but again, we are wanting to create a strategy that works for you. Okay, works for you. So let's say you have work, or let's say you have school during New York Stock Exchange Open, and you can't put your full time and full attention into the charts during that session. Stop trying to force it. Stop trying to force trading the S&P 500 just because TJR and ICT do it and all your favorite YouTubers do it. There's no reason for you to do that. This is a 24/7 market, or a 24/5 market, actually, if we're talking about Forex. Okay, it's a 24/5 market where you guys can trade whenever the fuck you want. Okay, yeah, you might have to give up some sleep like I did to trade the London session with GBP JPY because I couldn't trade during school just like you guys. But guess what? That's what you're going to have to do in order to be profitable. Okay? So first thing we want to figure out is what session are we going to be trading on? Okay? Look at your schedule, figure out what time you're always going to be available. And I know this is going to suck. A lot of you guys, that time is going to be Asian session. Try and find a way to make London session work, or try and find a way to make New York session work. I'm not the biggest fan of Asian session. But then again, this is up to you. Maybe you find some sort of strategy that works for you. That's the beauty of this shit, okay? That's why I fucking love trading. It's so personal, and it's really just like, it's an art form, really. Like, when you get down to it, like, every single person is an artist, and the chart is their canvas, and it's like just being able to demonstrate what you've learned over the course of so many years and just watching it play out in your face. By your own, like literally your own strategy that you've created just by seeing price action over and over again. Okay, so that's the first thing. We want to know when, okay? Then we want to know what, okay? So, or what type of trader? Okay, so then we want to know what type of trader you are. Okay, so are you going to be a scalper? Okay, gets in and out of positions within 1 to 5 minutes. Okay, are you going to be a intraday trader? Something similar to me, where you're in and out of positions within sometimes 15 minutes, sometimes an hour, sometimes 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Sometimes you leave runners for 5 hours, but most of the time you're closing your entire position within every single day. Okay, that's an intraday trader. Are you going to be a swing trader, where let's say you can't even find a single one time within your schedule that matches up with a session where you're like, yeah, I can sit down and put my full force and full attention into this every single day for a couple hours on the charts? Guess what? Maybe you want to be a swing trader. Maybe you only have the opportunity to look at the markets like 6 hours a week. Some people do that and they make a lot of money. Some people are executing and trading on the daily time frames, on the weekly time frames, on the monthly time frames, and they're just, yeah, it takes longer to get paid. Yeah, it takes longer for your take profits to get hit. But if that's what works for you and you don't want to deal with the stress of sitting down and staying at a computer for 2 to 3 hours a day, be a fucking swing trader. It works for you. If you don't like the stress of being like, oh, I'm up $1,000. No, now I'm down $2,000. Yes, I'm up $5,000. Now I'm down back to $500. If you don't want to deal with that, perfect. Be a swing trader. If you can deal with that, awesome. Be a scalper, okay? Remember, this is all up to you. So figuring out what session works for you and then what type of trader you are. Okay, and then from there, based off the type of trader you are, we are going to get into time frames, okay? What time frames are you going to be trading on? Okay, so for me, this is where we can get kind of specific. Okay, how do I find my overall bias? Most of the time, I look at the daily, and then I look at the 4 hour, and then I look at the 1 hour. That's how I create my bias, and then I execute on the 15, the 5, and the 1 minute. Okay, so you guys can use that kind of ratio to fit into whatever style of trader you are. Let's say you're a scalper and you only trade within like 1 to 5 minute frames. Okay, maybe you find your overall bias on the hourly, the 15 minute, and the 5 minute, and you execute on the 1 minute. Because you're getting in and out on these super small little baby moves that really consist of like 1 to 5 minutes worth of price action, okay? Or if you're going to be more similar to me, right? I'm really just trying to catch the main overall move on the day, okay? So I use the daily time frame, the 4 hour time frame, and the hourly time frame to find my bias for the day. And then what do I do from there? I find my execution points based on the 15 minute, the 5 minute, and the 1 minute, okay? And again, I'm taking those trades based on where I'm finding my bias. So if I see, okay, the daily time frame is bullish, the 4 hours bullish, and the hourly is bullish, awesome. I find a 15-minute building block, awesome. Okay, I'm going to probably execute on the 5 minute or the 1 minute. Let's say we see a 4 hour building block and then we see hourly confirmation, I'm probably going to execute on the 15 minute. Okay, these are all small things that you can start adding up to create your own strategy. Okay, it doesn't have to be one of those ones that I listed, but use those like ratios that I just set up where I'm talking about, I use the daily, the 4 hour, and the hourly to set my overall bias, and then my execution points are the trio that's underneath that. Okay, let's say you wanted to be a swing trader like we just mentioned. Maybe you would look at the monthly, the weekly, and the daily, and then you execute on the 4 hour or the hourly. Okay, that's something that you can do. All right, so number 3 is figuring out what time frames you're going to execute on. Okay, so we've identified when we're going to be trading, like within what session, and then we've also identified what type of trader we're going to be. Okay, so whether that be scalper, intraday, or swing trader. Okay, and then from there, we're narrowing it down even more, and we're figuring out, okay, what are my time frames, what are my execution points going to be on, okay? What time frames am I going to be looking at to find my bias, and then what time frames am I going to be looking at to execute, okay? I'll write that down. Okay, and then number 4 is what are my confluences? Okay, so this is where you guys have to get into your bag of just trading knowledge, okay? Whether it be, okay, let's use this as an example. Do you understand order blocks? Yes. Are you really good at spotting them on a chart? Yes. Awesome. Use that as one of your confluences. Are you good at finding liquidity sweeps within the market? Yes. Are you good at spotting them? Are you good at executing off of them? No? Don't use it. Are you good at spotting break of structure within the market? Are you good at spotting them within the market? And are you good at executing off of them? If the answer is yes, perfect. Use it. And ideally, you find 3 that work for you, okay? So for me, what are the 3 that I like using? Okay, for me, luckily, I know a lot about trading and I've been trading for a while. So as you guys start building this strategy, you'll probably get better and good at being able to identify and being able to execute on other confluences. But for now, let's use the ones that we're really good at, okay? Whether that be order blocks, whether that be fair value gaps, whether that be liquidity sweeps, whether that be equilibrium, whether that be break of structure, whether that be, I don't freaking know, like a high gets breached and then you see a break of structure or a low gets breached, okay? Like whatever confluences that you have learned, whether it be a bounce off of support, okay, or a bounce off of resistance. You can use that as a confluence. I don't give a fuck, okay? We're creating this strategy that works for you, that makes sense in your head, okay? So if support and resistance makes sense to you, fuck it, use it. If an indicator works for you, I hate you, but use it, okay? So find 3 confluences that work for you, that make sense to you, so you can start building off this strategy, especially if you're able to spot it, and especially if you're good at being able to execute off of it. If you know that your win rate has benefited from using these confluences, use them. You don't have to use TJR's 1, 2, 3 strategy. You don't have to use ICT's 1, 2, 3 strategy. You don't have to use Lambert's 1, 2, 3 strategy. Create one for yourself, okay? So choose 3 confluences that make sense for you, okay? For me, it usually goes liquidity sweep, break of structure, order block, or fair value gap, okay? Those are typically what I'm looking for, okay? And again, what did we figure out with number 3? We already know how we're going to be identifying our overall bias, okay, by choosing the daily, the 4-hour, and the 1-hour, by identifying, okay, this is going to be our daily bias by looking at price action on there, okay? And then from there, our execution timeframes, we know the 15-minute and the 5-minute and the 1-minute are going to be where we're executing off of, and then from there, we're using those 3 confluences that we come up with within this video, whatever ones you guys choose, and that's how we're going to be executing on those lower time frames. Good so far? Awesome. Oops. Last but not least, to finish up the trade, okay, we got when we're going to be trading, we got what type of trader we are going to be, we got what time frames we are going to be looking at, we got how we are going to execute. Now we have to look at how the fuck are we going to get out of the trade and get us fucking paid or make us go bankrupt, okay? So, next up, where is my stop loss and where is my take profit, okay? This is variable, by the way, okay? So, some people, it makes sense for them to have a 5-point stop loss every single time. Without a doubt, they're always going to use 5 points or a 50 pip stop loss, okay? Maybe that's you, okay? Figure out what your stop loss is going to be. Is it going to be based off of price action? Let's write this in, actually. Okay, is your stop loss going to be based off of price action, or is it going to be based off of just a simple unit? Okay, is it going to be set at a certain amount of points? Okay, same thing with take profits. Are you going to always look for a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio? Always going to close out at a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio? Right, a certain number of points, right? If your stop loss is at 5 points every single time, maybe you want to close out at 15 points every single time, and then boom, you're done for the day. Or are you going to do it based off of price action? Okay, so for me, what do I like doing? I like putting my stop loss based off of price action. Okay, so for me, I like putting my stop underneath a point where I know if we go past that price, or if we get past that certain price where my stop loss is at, then my whole trade bias, my whole trade idea is invalidated, and I want to get out of that trade because likely price is going to go in the opposite direction of me. Okay, my take profits are based off of price action. Sometimes I have horrible risk to reward ratios. Sometimes it's like a 1 to 0.7, RR for my first take profit. But I make money and I'm profitable. Why? Because I'm doing it based off of price action, okay? So, sometimes I have a 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio. Sometimes, last week I hit a crazy trade, hit every single take profit. The first take profit was a super small risk to reward ratio, but the final take profit was like a 1 to 7 risk to reward ratio, okay? So it's all based on what type of trader you are. Remember, do what works for you, okay? So if you are going to be panicking with having just a 5-point stop every single time because you know that, hey, even if price goes down 5 points, the trade idea may still be valid because of the execution that I did, maybe you don't go based off purely off points or pips within the market, okay? Maybe you do it based off price action. Or if you're someone that just likes to be boom, enter, everything's the same every single time, your confluences are the same every single time, your stop loss is the same every single time, your take profit is the same every single time, that's the type of trader that you are. You don't want to be stressed. You don't want to second guess yourself. You don't want to move your stop. You don't want to move your take profits because you get greedy, you get emotional, whatever the case may be. Boom, go based off of points. Remember, this is all based on you, and this is how you guys are going to be able to create your own strategy to turn profitable. Okay, so with that being said, we've fully created our outline, going over pretty much creating the outline on how to create your own strategy, okay? We are going to keep this little outline, okay, and then we are going to bring it over for the next video, part 2 of pretty much going into every single one of these, okay, and like, I guess giving TJR's like answer to it, and then identifying how we can actually start executing on the strategy. So today was literally just creating the outline of the overall strategy. Tomorrow is going to be actually getting, or not tomorrow, whenever you guys see the next video, I'm going to make the next video tomorrow, but the next video on this series is going to be covering like the actual execution and how we can put it into chart form, okay? And I'll go over a bunch of different strategies and a bunch of different examples so it isn't just purely directly my strategy. I know a lot of you guys use my strategy, but I want this to be open and available to other people who maybe don't even trade smart money concepts, who trade support and resistance, who trade with indicators, okay? And who are swing traders and who are scalpers, okay? I want this to be fully applicable to every single type of trader out there so that they can create their own strategy and turn profitable for themselves. So with that being said, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm really excited about this new series. If you guys, let me know what you guys want to see from this. The next video is going to be based off of execution, and then from there, maybe we can go into back testing, and then from there, who knows? Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see, and if you haven't, subscribe, like the video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.